Good afternoon, tutor. My name is Alejandro Franco Noreña. Today I'm going to tell you about my proposal project. That is Music and PPR Teaching Method in the Classroom, a didactic proposal. It is divided in 3 chapters. First of all, I'm going to tell you about overview, the justification, and statement of problem. The general background is focused on the problem in the teaching English or the classroom in general from traditional classes. I'm going to tell you a didactic proposal, yes, to improve to the new teaching methods. What is about that? Similar that we have students or a baby to learn their native language, similar to we acquire the native language. Second one, I combine two methodological resources used in early childhood education, both total physical response and songs to help the work of the English teacher. The result, in order to achieve a motivating attitude in the students, integrate also the teaching of the English language with learning. Also, this produces an active and participatory classes with obviously focus on multiple intelligences, because the TPR teaching focuses listening and speaking and kinesthetic skills. So, in order to each student come into play and facilitate your learning. In this method, almost exclusive use of language too in the classroom, as we acquire our native language, Espanol, as when we was a child, we imitate, we repeat the actions, and we also listen the native language, in this case Spanish. For that reason, in this case, the didactic proposal is a focus on a series of commands, yes, and routine classroom routines, but focus on language or foreign language, sorry, to acquire the English. Obviously, the motivation through songs, the songs is very interesting for childhood. What is the statement of problem? Can a methodological proposal such as TPR and songs strengthen the ability of comprehensive listening during English as a foreign language classes and students of the 5th grade of the Technical College Francisco Paula Santander here in Vitama, Boyacá? What is the research objectives? We have the general objective to offer resources for learning the English language in the 5th grade classroom in the Francisco Paula Santander, using the total physical response methodology and songs as a basis. In specific objectives, we have offered a learning framework in order to have as similar as possible the child had acquisition, the mother tongue. Also, make use of music, not only as a tool for learning, but as a different contexts of competence of age of the students. And the last one is promote the classroom motivating environment that facilitates the work of the teacher and produces students a taste of this subject, that is English. Chapter 2, we have literature review. We have several literature review for other researches, but most common in this case, the physical response, a method founded by PhD James Asher with focus on speaking ability and listening comprehension. What is talking about? The total physical response is a language teaching method that combines speaking with action and teaches the language through physical activity. So here we have the teacher, and he say the commands to the students. Students have to imitate the actions and show and repeat what the teacher is talking about. Okay, the foundation of Asher theory show the languages can be learned more easily if they see how babies learn the first language. As I told you before, that is the methodology. The children acquire the learn as we were babies learn their first language. Here we have a conceptual map about the explanation what is total physical response. We have this method work in both hemispheres, left and right. In the left we have language learning, good for young learners, and long-term retention. And on the other hand, we have right hemisphere that focus on movement. This method is not proper to adults or adolescents. For that reason, it is good just for kids. And long silent period. So those kind of hemispheres manage or handle with motion and learning as well. We have all of our argumentation, total physical response. Children listen and do the movement, and after this the pupil will understand the concepts. The sentences are repeated very times. It is mandatory. The teacher has to repeat the lesson in order to the children acquire or understand. Don't use the memory, because the idea that children understand or just understand the comments as quickly as possible. After a few minutes, the children will do the movement on their own. Next, we have the use of music in classroom. Here we have 3 arguments, researches by Garcés, Meller, and Rodriguez, talking about the language in the read. Support my last idea about a ideal learning situation the children manage both cerebral hemispheres stimulated, language in the left hemisphere and rhythm, yes, by the right hemisphere. Previous studies we have carried out by Díaz from the University of Laguna in Spain. Conclude here a research project through the total physical response method, and collaborative learning is promoted, seen as if the proposed games where the students participate in groups. What is the result? The author states that the PPR teaching model is appropriate method for children because it keeps them in constant movement and prevent classes from being boring, motivating the participation and both the students. We have another one, Shan, 2017, compare the results obtained in terms of classroom motivation. So that the teaching model TPR, on the other hand, with the traditional methodologies. So compare those methods, and the result is express the importance of teacher knowing the TPR method. They creative when proposing the activities they will teach in the classroom. And the chapter 3, we have the theoretical framework. So as a summary, it is talking about the critical propositional paradigm. It's talking about what it means. The investigation or the research would not be limited only based on the facts, but also on the analysis, interpretation, understanding of the problem. So the proposal project is that focus on, in fact, when a teacher is teaching this kind of method, a topic with this kind of method, and they realize that what is the problem, so he tries to solve, interpret, understanding of the problem that is going on in the school. So for that reason, that is critical approach. And the next one is about will help students to develop listening and speaking skills more easily without fear of being criticized. And since education must be critically comprehensive and inclusive, it applies educating and learning to be integrated, critical, but constructive. We have memory, repetition, physical activity, and there is equal meaningful learning. We have the conceptual framework, and a summary of this didactic purpose. We have the task that is focused on the group of students, working students or individually, but it is better that work in the students in groups. In total physical response, we have both behaviorism and imitation, and on the other hand we have natural approach, the input hypothesis. So in this case the result is repeat, response, and vocabulary. That is the work, the input of the student. What is the results? The results, the listening and speaking focus on that skills. A hypothesis, we have the influence of development of listening skills, speaking skills, and in total physical response, which doesn't influence the development of listening and speaking skills. On the other hand, we have total physical response that if they influence the development of listening and speaking skills. That is the hypothesis. And we have the last one, operationalization of the variables, and that is talking about the variable independent total physical response method, and on the other hand variable dependent English language skills, that is listening and speaking. So that's it. Thank you, teacher, for your support and all things that the reference. Thank you so much.